There are different state and local government fund types, but first we must establish what a fund is. Gatsby indicates that governmental accounting systems should be organized and operated on a fund basis. A fund is defined, from their perspective, as a fiscal and accounting entity with a self-balancing set of accounts recording cash and other financial resources, together with all related liabilities and residual equities or balances and changes therein, which are integrated for the purpose of carrying on specific activities or attaining certain objectives in accordance with special regulations, restrictions, or limitations. Now, there are certain types of those fund types. First, we have governmental. Within the governmental funds, there are 5 types that we will discuss later. Within proprietary funds, there are 2 types. The term proprietary indicates that the funds are used to account for a government's ongoing organizations and activities that are similar to those often found in the commercial sector. And we also have the fiduciary type, sometimes known as trust and agency funds, which account for resources for which the government is acting as a collecting, dispersing agent or as a trustee. Now, this is one of the governmental fund types. We have the permanent funds, and within the permanent funds, they account for and report resources that are restricted to the extent that only earnings and not principal may be used for purposes that support the reporting government's programs. We also have capital projects funds. Those account for reporting financial resources that are restricted, committed, or assigned to expenditure for capital outlays. We also had debt service funds, and those debt service funds account for and report financial resources that are restricted, committed, or assigned to expenditure for principal and interest, other than interest or principal on proprietary or fiduciary activities. Other types of funds include the Special Revenue Fund, which account for and report the proceeds of specific revenue sources that are restricted or committed to expenditure for a committed purpose other than debt service or capital projects. These may include activities funded by the federal or state grants or by taxes specifically restricted to certain activities. The general fund accounts for most of the basic services provided by the government. Technically, it accounts for reports of all financial resources not accounted for and reported by any other type of fund. So mainly just for general use. We have under proprietary funds, one of the funds that it has is an enterprise fund. Enterprise funds are used when resources are provided primarily through the use of sales and service charges to parties external to the government. Examples of enterprise funds includes water and other utilities, airports, swimming pools, and transit systems. We also have internal service funds, and they usually account for services provided by one department of a government to another, generally as a cost reimbursement basis. In some cases, these services are also provided to other governments. Examples of internal service funds include print shops, motor pools, and self-insurance funds. So the fiduciary types, the 4 types. We have an agency fund, which is normally used to account for situations in which the government is acting as a collecting or dispersing agent. An example of this may be a county tax agency fund. We have a pension and other employee benefit trust fund. They're usually used to account for pension and employee benefit funds for which the government unit is a trustee. We also have investment trust funds, which account for external portion of investment pools reported by the sponsoring government, and the private purpose trust fund, which reports all other trust arrangements. And these trust arrangements may come about through the income benefit individuals or private organizations and things of that nature.